Salutations, and welcome to Foxx Plays, Kerbal Space Program, the 365-day challenge. So here we are. We've got our legacy Sat 1. We got our legacy Sat 1 in orbit, and that's actually more or less over KSC. I had not noticed that. Well done, me. All right, and I'm sure that will come into play later. Anyway, on to our payload today. Alright, so our payload today is something called ODARP. ODARP. That stands for Orbital Docking and Rendezvous Platform, which is essentially a glorified girder that I'm going to put into orbit. Now, this is I actually should probably talk a little bit about what this is for. I've decided that basically what I want to do is I don't want kind of disjointed missions, just, you know, go to the moon this day, go to Eve that day, you know, land in, you know, this particular biome. I don't want disjointed missions. I want kind of more large-scale, more well-thought-out, well-planned missions, and more specifically with multiple parts, because trying to fill 365 days with Kerbal missions is just it's a daunting challenge. It's very daunting. So I have decided that I am going to go to the tracking station. All right, so the moon. Bam, there it is. So it's a ways from Kerbin, certainly farther than our legacy Sat 1. So I think my plan is not to go with a kind of an Apollo style, so to speak. I'm not going to try and launch the lander and the orbiter all in one shot, and try and finagle that just with one launch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this ODARP, this kind of, girder construction, into a low-ish orbit around Kerbin. And then I'm going to send up, tomorrow, I'll send up my orbiter with some Kerbals in it, and they will probably take care of some minor construction on ODARP, just to kind of get it ready for the mission. Then I will launch the lander the day after, which I think will be a nice big heavy lander, 2-stage, the whole nine. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. And so yeah, let's take a closer look at this ODARP business. All right, so here we are back in the VAB. And, well, I'm using a couple mods here. These, essentially structural fuselages, but very pretty, and they have very nice lighting effects. Look at that, very nice. They are from the Stock-alike station parts pack, I think, as well as the probe core that I'm using, just because it fits nicely. The Interceder station core is from the Stock-alike station parts mod as well. I'm also using, what am I using? I'm using these RCS tanks. Let me just get a close-up on them there. So you'll see that they look like old Russian propellant tanks on their TKS modules and bits of mirror, and that's intentional. They are from a mod called Tantares, or Tantaris, however you want to say it, and that is a Stock-alike pack dedicated to Russian spacecraft. So you have all kinds of stuff. You have Soyuz style spacecraft, the orbital mod, or the descent module, or the re-entry module there. You've got stuff for making the old salute stations, very cool. I'll get into that later, but for now, just the RCS tanks, and those are there because we've got some RCS on that, and we're going to actually use that for not necessarily circularization, but we're going to need to maneuver a little bit and adjust our orbit so that we've got the RCS and plenty of fuel, because these each hold 250, so we've got 500 monoprop here. Those are the two main mods that I'm using. Right, these little antenna here are also from the Tantares mod pack, and you see they little fold out there, little dishes there, and those are there to represent the Russian automated docking system that we see on Soyuz and Progress. My launch stage is also from Tantares. I really like that mod. It's so cool. It's really slick. I like their engines. I like their tanks. I just like the look of the mod. So this is meant to look like a Proton, Russian medium to heavy lift vehicle. Well, I think that's a bit of staging problem there. But I think we're ready to put this in orbit. There we go. I'm just going to adjust this. I'm using the toolbar mod as well. But I just want this up there. So it's out of the way. We'll get those. Alright. So, full throttle. SAS on. Launch. There we go. Good liftoff. We're actually probably right in the middle of where we need to be for acceleration. Maybe a little too fast. Very slightly. Alright, so this is going into a low-ish orbit. I think I'm going to aim for just above 250,000 meters. Meters? Or kilometers. It's a very big difference, but it's there-ish is what it's going to be. Yeah, 250,000 meters. 250,000 kilometers would be just insane. Alright, ooh, we got very, very late on our gravity turn. I like to start my gravity turn very early. I start at about 2,000 meters. Because basically, it's not necessarily that you want you don't want to start at 10 kilometers. A lot of people do. You don't want to do that. You want to end up with your prograde marker at 45 degrees, roughly at 13 kilometers, because it's not 10, it's 13 kilometers that it switches to the lighter atmosphere. I'm actually going to throttle up now, because we're out of the thick stuff. So you want a slow, gradual turn. So to get that effect is I start my gravity turns at about 2 kilometers. Alright, first stage cut off, and second stage ignition. Oh, look at those 4 engines. Look at that. Beautiful. It's actually just one part. It's an engine cluster part. Alright, we're probably going to be getting up there real quick. This this particular rocket is not it's not exactly subtle. We've got a big kind of inclination problem here. I want to bring that down. $90,000 meters. 100. 250. And 250. 250 kilometers. Alright, and our inclination is... I'll fix it later. Alright, we're actually going to detach, just because we don't have quite as much torque as I'd like. Do we have any torque? I keep doing this. A lot of the toggle torque. So it must have it. This does not have any actual reaction wheels. That's a bit embarrassing. Alright, well, there's nothing to do about it. So we're going to deploy, just because I don't want to run out of power here. Although it's probably premature. Alright. So 254 kilometers, 4 minutes. Just a little bit more. Oh, come on. Oh, it did switch. Ba-doop-doop-doo. There it is. It was very quick. Boom. Alright. So let's see if we can actually get ourselves lined up in the right direction with very, very little torque. We should have enough realistically once this thing is... Yeah, see, we are turning slowly. And that is my input. But it's just this little thing, and it's got very, very little torque. I think I might actually cheat just a little bit and use time acceleration to stop our turn. So I'll talk a little bit about more about our payload here, ODARP, and it's got 4 standard docking ports. And the way I see this working is it's going to be oriented prograde, retrograde. The pointy ends prograde, retrograde, but it won't hold that. But essentially this side, this dorsal side with the RCS and the solar panel, will be pointed normal, and this down here will be anti-normal. So just a bit of orientation. Ye gods, this is slow. This is very slow. Alright, I'm just going to speed this up, and we'll kick on our engine, and we'll use that for maneuvering power. Oh, actually, RCS. I knew I forgot something. Much better. Now it's a little tricky because this is technically very unbalanced RCS-wise, just because it's got the RCS, it's got all its fuel on one side. But alright, that's much better. I totally forgot that we had RCS. I feel much better actually, because reaction wheels are just so cheaty in this game. They're so powerful. But so we want to, our burn time is estimated at 21 seconds, but so we want to start at about 10 to split the difference. Oh, see, I'm always running right past my maneuver nodes. Anyway, throttle up. Whoa! Yeah, see, this is very unbalanced. It looks cool, but it's not very efficient. Alright, so less thrust here. Alright, so we'll actually point at maneuver. Alright, so our RCS is capable of holding us. Just using the RCS to boost my speed a little bit. Alright, so we'll do a little bit of a roll here. Man, I burned through way more monoprop than I was planning on. That's what I get for building a not an unbalanced craft. Just kill that maneuver. Alright, and I'm going to decouple this stage, but it doesn't have a probe core, which is an oversight. I'll probably just delete it later. But, alright, there we go. And we're just going to kind of separate ourselves a little bit from our stage there. Ready for the big reveal. It's going to be great. Boom. Look at that. Those things. And I forgot to put them on both ends. Oh, no. Oversight. Alright, so let's speed things up just because I want to see how it looks in the dark. Because I know my last video was very, very dark, and that's YouTube. That's YouTube messing with brightness settings. So we've got plenty of power here, and I want to test this out. Right? No. Stop. God, this new SAS is just it's so frustrating. Alright. Off. Time accelerate. Okay, and lights on. Oh, look at that. It's a little bright, very slightly. But, well illuminated docking ports. Look at that. That's pretty. That is pretty. Alright. So I think that's enough for today. I've been Foxonius. This has been KSP, and I'll see you tomorrow when we launch our orbiter with Kerbals inside. Awesome. See you then.